Order. When business was suspended, the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning was about to start presenting the Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025. May the Honorable Minister continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just before the break, I was about to start presenting the Property Transfer Tax, which is an amendment bill, number 23 of 2025. Madam Speaker, I beg to present a bill entitled the Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill number 23 of 2025. The objects of this bill are to A, extend the tax relief applicable to a company transferring the shares and a company receiving the shares that have been part of a group of companies which is subject to group reorganization. B, limit the forms of surrender or forfeiture of shares for no consideration that are exempt from property transfer tax. C, provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Let the bill be read the first time.
The Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025.
The bill stands referred to the Planning and Budgeting Committee. The committee is required to submit its report on the bill to the House by Tuesday, 25th November 2025. Honorable members who wish to make submissions on the bill are free to do so within the program of work of the committee. Next bill, the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Speaker, I beg to present a bill entitled the Mobile Money Transactions Levy Amendment number 2, Bill number 24 of 2025, and the objects of this bill are to A, revise the levy payable on a person-to-person transfer, and B, provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Let the bill be read the first time.
The Mobile Money Transaction Levy Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2025.
The bill stands referred to the Planning and Budgeting Committee, and the committee is required to submit its report on the bill to the House by Tuesday, 25th November 2025. Honorable members who wish to make submissions on the bill are free to do so within the program of work of the committee. Next bill, the Acting Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry.
Madam Speaker, I beg to present a bill titled the Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025. The object of the bill is to amend the Registration of Business Names Act so as to provide the following. A, the disclosure of beneficial ownership information by a firm that is a corporation. B, the retention by the registrar of the records of a business name whose certificate has been cancelled for a specified period. And last but not the least, provide for matters connected or incidental to the foregoing.
Let the bill be read the first time.
The Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025.
The bill stands referred to the Committee on National Economy, Trade and Labor Matters. The committee is required to submit its report on the bill to the House by Tuesday, 25th November 2025. And honorable members who wish to make submissions on the bill are free to do so within the program of work of the committee. Next bill, the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Speaker, I beg to present a bill entitled the Betting Levy Bill number 31 of 2025. The objects of this bill are to A, provide for the imposition, payment, and collection of a betting levy, and B, provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Let the bill be read the first time.
The Betting Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2025.
The bill stands referred to the Planning and Budgeting Committee. The committee is required to submit its report on the bill to the House by Tuesday, 25th November 2025. And honorable members who wish to make submissions on the bill are free to do so within the program of work of the committee. We make progress. Questions for oral answer under Standing Order number 80. The honorable member for Petauke Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And how are you? Wait.
I'm very fine, honorable member. You may continue.
Thank you. Question number 46. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Labor and Social Security.
Yeah. You've done well. You've paid a lot.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
A lot of retirees have been.
The honourable member for
Order, honorable members.
for Petauke has asked the Minister of Labour the following questions.
Yeah.
And A, whether the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, has any plans to rehabilitate the NAPSA building in Petauke district.
Yeah.
And B, if so, when the plans will be implemented, and under C,
Very soon.
if there are no plans, why?
We have planned.
Madam Speaker, in response, the honourable member has the following. Under A, that the Board of Trustees, honourable member, through you, Madam Speaker, has approved the disposal of several old commercial properties owned by the authority. Following the approval by the board, the NAPSA property in Petauke district, Madam Speaker, was advertised for sale in May 2024. So it has been advertised. And under B, the authority is, however, considering to redevelop it into a new office block. Madam Speaker, with a design similar to what the authority has built in Chinsali and Pika districts. The project is planned to be implemented in 2024, Madam Speaker. I submit, 2026, sorry. I will say that again, Madam Speaker, that the project is planned to be implemented in the year 2026, next year, when the new Dawn administration will be back. I submit.
Supplementary questions. The honorable member for Petauke, do you have a question?
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. People of Petauke, they have heard you that that building is now on sale. So no any further questions, since they have got no plans to rehabilitate it. I thank you.
Was that a question? Or a comment? Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Labour and Social Security.
Madam Speaker, as the honourable member who I thank for understanding and appreciating what the new Dawn administration is doing through all arms of government, agencies, commissions, he is assured and he is confident because the honourable member on behalf of the people of Petauke knows the trail of the development activities that are being undertaken by the authority in terms of securing the money and also ensuring sustainability of the NAPSA funds on behalf of the workers. So he is assured because he has seen the progress that NAPSA has embarked on, and NAPSA is now paying off our workers, our retirees. In a very short time, NAPSA has automated its services under iCare, and so we assure once again the people of Petauke that next year, come next year, that project will commence. Will commence as per the approvals considerations of the authority trustees. I submit.
The Honourable Member from Sanzala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, through you, I just wanted to find out from the Minister, have you already secured another plot for you to construct a new office block? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister of Labour and Social Security.
Madam Speaker, that will be looked into. As at now, not yet, but that is work in progress. I submit.
The Honourable Member for Nyimba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Minister, I know your department abandoned their actual office and moved into a rented office, which was a bit expensive, and I don't know the plan which was there. Now, if you haven't managed to get the plot now for construction in the next few months, when you come back, which we know you are coming back, Madam Minister. Now, the question to me is that looking at the procurement process in this country, are you assuring the people of Petauke that when you come back in August 2026, between August and December, you are going to construct that building? Or it's going to be the same story of we promised but we didn't fulfill? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of Labour and Social Security.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank the Honourable Member for Nyimba. Madam Speaker, any project has a cycle, and construction is a full cycle starting from the various approvals, the design, in fact the design, and you go to the next stages of any project until you get to implementation. So I want to assure the Honourable Member and the people of Petauke once again that that process of construction starts from that point of design, or approvals design, and so forth. So the process itself is what we talk about up to delivery. I submit.
The last member, the Honourable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honourable Minister, if I got you correctly, the existing building, NAPSA building in Petauke, has been advertised under sale since 2024. And the government has got plans to build a new building in 2026, of which land you have not yet concluded on the piece of land. I just want to understand the logic of selling the existing building and putting up a totally new building in an unknown place. So there is that gap in the absence of a NAPSA building. How do you intend to maintain your workers or keep your workers without offices? because the other one will be on sale, whilst we are intending to build another office next year. Thank you. In the interim measure, whilst these two procurement activities are ongoing. I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Labour and Social Security.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank the honourable member. Indeed, as I indicated, that the authority is supervised and governed by a board of trustees. And the authority also has a particular unit that focuses on projects. When we speak about, when the authority trustees make a decision such as the one where they decided to sell and also commit to looking into ensuring that that building is replaced, they would have done a full analysis including risk analysis, including provisions in transition. And so I can only assure the honourable member, Madam Speaker, that the board of trustees and the respective committees are configuring how that should be done in a responsible manner, taking care of the interests of the workers for NAPSA who are there and other players or other people who are renting there. All that is supposed to have been taken into consideration. And so be assured that NAPSA will do a responsible thing to ensure that we leave no risk unattended to. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next question. The Honourable Member for Kabwe Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to ask a question. Question 47.
The Honourable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honourable Halwindi, Member of Parliament for Kabwe Central, to ask the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, A, whether government has any plans to replace the sewer pipes leading to the discharge ponds in Shamavanse Township in Kabwe District, which are extensively corroded. B, if so, when will they be implemented? And C, if there are no such plans, why? Madam Speaker, our response to questions asked by Honourable Halwindi, Member of Parliament for Kabwe Central, I wish to inform this House that yes, government has plans to replace the extensively corroded sewer pipeline leading to the discharge ponds in Shamavanse Township of Kabwe District. Madam Speaker, this challenge has been compounded by people deliberately blocking sewer pipelines to use the wastewater for irrigation. Madam Speaker, to address this challenge, a design for the replacement of the dilapidated portion of the 375mm pipeline has already been developed and will cost about 16 million kwacha and is earmarked for implementation in the 2026 fiscal year. I'm glad to inform the Honourable Member of Parliament that the Ministry will in December disperse 3 million kwacha to Lukanga Water Supply and Sanitation to commence these works. C, as stated above, government has plans indeed to replace the sewer pipeline. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honourable Member for Kabwe Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and thank you so much, Minister, for your answers. Only to say thank you so much. Since there are plans to replace the pipeline, indeed, this pipe, despite that your answer is that it has been corroded because people are using it for irrigation or they are constructing houses, it might not be the exact answer because this pipe was, I think, laid in 1930s, which is a long, long time ago. So it's just it's only good that we replace it now because indeed it is really corroded and is causing a lot of health hazards because sewer, fecal matter just flow in around the houses there. So thank you so much, and we appreciate and we'll make a follow-up to make sure that really come December you start the works. Thank you so much.
you. I'm sure that was just a comment. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Madam Speaker, I just wanted to explain quickly that yes, indeed, she's right. This is a very old pipe. The challenge, when I said the challenge has been compounded by people deliberately blocking the sewer line, the challenge of the discharges in the surrounding area, that's the challenge I was explaining that is being compounded. But Madam Speaker, I also wanted to inform Madam Halwindi and through her the people of Kabwe that several short-term interventions have been put in place in place by Lukanga Water and Sanitation to mitigate the situation. And these include continuous unblocking of the pipeline where sandbags are deliberately placed inside the pipe by communities which have caused obstructions, continuous repair of worn-out portions of the pipe, ongoing community sensitization through traditional and community leadership against vandalism and the health risks associated with the use of untreated sewage effluent. We're also doing vegetation control by clearing and removing overgrowths along the pipeline route from the stream to the Natuseko stabilization ponds. So just to assure the Member of Parliament that government is doing everything possible to ensure that we attend to this challenge, and we will be working closely with the Member of Parliament for Kabwe Central. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Oh, there's a member. Sorry about that. The Honorable Member for Kabwata.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, the challenges that the people of Kabwe Central are facing are actually similar with what the people of Kabwata and other places are facing. Most of the sewer lines that we have, especially in Kabwata, you find that they were constructed way back. They are over 50 years old. Over 50 years, Honorable Minister. Now my question is, does your ministry have any plans of ensuring that even places such as the Kabwata are also considered in terms of upgrading the sewer lines that are actually very, very old? Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. The Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, maybe the Member of Parliament may repeat the question. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
No problem. The Honorable Member for Kabwata, please repeat the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was saying that most of the challenges that the people of Kabwe Central are facing, they are actually similar with what other constituencies are facing, like Kabwata. If you look at the sewer, the sewer lines in Kabwata, most of them, they were constructed way back 50 years ago, some even 60 years ago, very old. Now, I wanted to find out if your ministry has got any plans of upgrading some of these sewer lines in other constituencies so that we can also appreciate what government is doing. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Madam Speaker, apologies. I thought that was the last question, so I was settling in my chair. Madam Speaker, I'm sure honorable members of Parliament have heard several times from myself submitting what we are doing, particularly on the copper belt. The copper belt, these mining towns were built a long, long time ago, many years ago. The water infrastructure which was built then obviously was inadequate, and it's now become very old. It is dilapidated. So what we are doing in most of these townships is that we are replacing mainly the sewer, not only the sewer pipelines, but also the water pipelines. This is a project which is ongoing. When you come to Lusaka, again, most of the network is old. Kabwata lines are not only old, but they are small now because of the increase in number of our people. There is a project actually currently going on. Again, a similar project which you are asking about in Chipata right now. We've started a program in Chipata to replace the water lines there, including the sewer line. So yes, I can confirm that the government is preparing to not only replace these lines, but upgrade them. Also construct new lines to new areas, because of population increase, our people obviously are also occupying several other areas. So yes, I can confirm that the government will be replacing water infrastructure in various parts of the country. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Next question, the Honorable Member for Chiluvi. By prior arrangement, this question will be asked by the Honorable Member for Nakonde. The Honorable Member for Nakonde? Not in the House. The question lapses. Order. Honorable members, before we proceed to the next item on the order paper, I wish to remind the House that on Friday, 26 September 2025, when the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning presented the 2025 national budget, the 2026 national budget, the estimates of revenue and expenditure were referred to committees for sector budget analysis for a period of 10 days. Thereafter, the committees submitted their reports to the Expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee. The Expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee consolidated the reports from the committees and produced one report which has since been tabled. In this regard, the House is now ready to proceed with the rest of the budget approval process. The budgetary process will resume in the House with the presentation of the motion of supply by the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning, which will be followed by general policy debate on the budget for 10 sitting days. Thereafter, the House, sitting as a committee of the whole House, will commence consideration of individual heads of expenditure. Thank you. Motion, the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you for according me this opportunity to open up debate on the motion of supply on the 2026 budget, which I presented to this August House on Friday, September 26, 2025. Madam, let me also thank all the honorable members for their progressive debate.
The Honorable Minister, I think you can give him the... There is one written, I beg to move. You can assist him with one.
Apologies, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House do now resolve into Committee of Supply on the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026, presented to the National Assembly on Friday, 26 September 2025. Madam Speaker, I'm a bearer of a message from the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, recommending favorable consideration of the motion that I now lay on the table.
Okay. You can lay the motion. Thank you, Honorable Minister. The question is that the House do now resolve into Committee of Supply on the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026, presented to the National Assembly on Friday, 26 September 2025. Any debate? The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you for according me this opportunity to open debate on the motion of supply on the 2026 budget, which I presented to this August House on Friday, 26 September 2025. Madam, let me also thank all the honorable members for their progressive debate on this motion in their various committees. Their contributions have made immense and invaluable impact and will definitely help to pursue our search objectives. Madam, I also wish to thank the expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee for once again doing a commendable job of giving stakeholders an opportunity to understand and share their views on the policy direction that the New Dawn administration is undertaking. Madam, the New Dawn government stands by its commitment to actualizing its national priorities for the benefit of its people. Diverse views were considered when formulating the 2026 budget from various stakeholders, including the honorable members of this August House. We believe that the 2026 budget will steer our economy into a positive growth trajectory, prosperity, and efficient delivery of public services. Madam, the New Dawn government remains steadfast in its ambition to address concerns and challenges that our people are facing. Personally, I would have wanted a budget that would have entirely delivered on all promises that were assured to the people of this nation. However, rest assured that our government remains duty-bound in its goal to create the fiscal space needed for our nation to achieve its development aspirations. Madam Speaker, let me just remind the House on what I said in September in delivering the budget. In 2026, the government proposes to raise 253.1 billion kwacha, or 27.4% of the gross domestic product GDP. Out of this amount, 206.5 billion, or 81.6% of the budget, will be financed by domestic revenues, while 12.1 billion, or 4.8%, will be grants from our cooperating partners. The balance of 34.5 billion, or 3.5%, will be financed through domestic borrowing. Domestic borrowing will be 21.6 billion, or 2.3% of GDP, while 12.9 billion, or 1.4% of GDP, will come from external resources. It is also worth noting that the government will make tax adjustments in line with the money bills that I have just presented. Madam Speaker, on the expenditure side, the government proposes to spend a total of 253.1 billion. Of this amount, 64.9 billion kwacha, or 7% of the GDP, will go towards personal emoluments for public service workers while 25 billion kwacha is for the use of goods and services. An amount of 58.6 billion, or 6.3% of the GDP, has been allocated to cater for interest payments for both domestic and external debt. An amount of 36.6 billion will go towards transfers, which includes 9.2 billion kwacha for the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, and 6.2 billion for the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Madam Speaker, social benefits have been allocated a total of 15.7 billion kwacha, which includes 4.9 billion for pension benefits and 7.6 billion kwacha for the social cash transfer program. Social cash transfer has been enhanced so that the recipients get transfer value of 800 kwacha per beneficiary every 2 months. Assets have been allocated 34.1 billion kwacha, which also includes an allocation of 14.5 billion kwacha towards the roads. Madam Speaker, health has been allocated 26.2 billion kwacha, or 10.3% of the budget. Of this amount, 6.4 billion kwacha is for the procurement of medicines and medical supplies, which has been reasonably enhanced to cover the gap left by the withdrawal of some donor support. I've further allocated 1.7 billion kwacha towards various health infrastructure, and 953.5 million kwacha is for the procurement of medical equipment. Education has been allocated a total of 33 billion kwacha, or 13% of the budget. Of this amount, 2.4 billion is for school operations to support the current free education policy, whereas 2.3 billion is for erecting various education infrastructure. The government will also recruit 3,500 teachers in 2026. Madam Speaker, in 2026, the social cash transfer and cash for work programs will continue, because we are not yet out of the woods with regard to the effects of last year's drought. Therefore, I'm confident that under this government, the livelihoods of our people that were so seriously threatened by this unprecedented drought will be protected and secured. Madam Speaker, these are but just a few highlights of the 2026 budget, which I presented in September this year. It is now my pleasure once again to commit this budget and seek the support of this august House. Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you.
Thank you. Any further debate? The chairperson of the Expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee, the Honorable Member for Momba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in accordance with Standing Orders 168 and 169 of the National Assembly of Zambia, Standing Orders 2024, the Expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee considered reports submitted by various committees which examined specific areas of expenditure. In this regard, Madam Speaker, the committee held 10 meetings and received both oral and written submissions. Madam Speaker, the 2026 national budget proposes a total expenditure of 253.1 billion kwacha, which is equivalent to 27.4% of our GDP. This amount is to be financed through domestic revenue of 206.5 billion kwacha, grants of 4.1 billion, and borrowing amounting to 34.5 billion kwacha. Madam Speaker, the committee commends the government for its commitment to maintaining macroeconomic stability. However, despite the optimistic outlook, the committee is concerned that structural challenges in key productive sectors persist. In particular, Madam Speaker, continued load shedding, which is threatening the attainment of the projected 6.4% economic growth in 2026. The committee therefore urges the government to prioritize stabilizing and expanding energy generation and distribution to sustain our growth. Madam Speaker, the committee welcomes measures being undertaken to diversify the energy mix and promote renewable energy generation. However, it is concerned that the implementation of open access, which allows private power producers to use this coast transmission infrastructure, has faced significant delays. The committee is of the view that expediting open access will enhance competition, increase generation capacity, and attract investment in alternate energy sources. The committee, therefore, Madam Speaker, urges the Minister of Energy to finalize the open access framework and ensure that unbundling ZESCO supports private sector participation. Madam Speaker, the committee appreciates that the government continues to prioritize food security and diversification. However, the committee observes that the continued dominance of maize in the allocation of public sources, particularly under the Farmer Input Support Program, undermines the policy objectives of crop diversification. During its interaction, Madam Speaker, with stakeholders, the committee learned that over 70% of the agriculture budget continues to be absorbed by FISIP and the Food Reserve Agency, leaving limited fiscal space for research, extension, and mechanization. To enhance efficiency and accountability, the committee recommends that the executive should consider repositioning FISIP as a standalone intervention under the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. Madam Speaker, the committee further observes that the budget for 2026 provides for the rehabilitation of 430 kilometers of roads and 200 kilometers of power lines in the Kalumwange, Kalungwishi, and Shikabeta farm blocks. While this demonstrates government's commitment to farm block development, the committee is concerned that the allocated resources are inadequate given the strategic role of farm blocks in driving agricultural diversification. It is therefore recommends that the government should increase budgetary support towards farm blocks infrastructure, including irrigation, feeder roads, power supply, and storage facilities. Madam Speaker, the committee welcomes the continued implementation of free education policy and recruitment of additional teachers to reduce the pupil-teacher ratio. However, Madam Speaker, the committee observes that school infrastructure in rural areas remain inadequate. The committee therefore recommends that future budget allocations prioritizes the upgrading of rural schools infrastructure. Madam Speaker, the committee is concerned that the allocation of 2.74 million kwacha to the National Health Insurance Management Authority, NIMA, remains insufficient to sustain its operations and expand coverage toward universal health coverage. It therefore urges the executive to supplement NIMA's budget to ensure sustainability and efficiency in health service delivery. Madam Speaker, the committee commends the increased allocation to social cash transfer scheme. However, it is concerned about delayed disbursements, which undermine the program's effectiveness in cushioning vulnerable households. Therefore, it recommends that the government should ensure timely disbursement of funds. Madam Speaker, the committee observes that the slow pace regarding the establishment of the Lands Commission has limited the Ministry of Lands' ability to efficiently collect revenue and manage titling. The committee therefore recommends that the government should urgently establish the Lands Commission under the Ministry of Lands to enhance land coverage, governance, promote transparency, and improve revenue mobilization. Madam Speaker, regarding public debt, the committee observes that debt servicing continues to consume a substantial portion of our national budget, thereby constraining resources available for development programs. In light of this, Madam Speaker, the committee urges the government to enhance domestic resource mobilization through comprehensive tax reforms and strengthened mining revenue collection. It further urges the government to exercise prudence to avoid the accumulation of new non-concessional loans. Madam Speaker, in line with standing orders, the Expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee has proposed variations between different heads of expenditure. These proposed variations, Madam Speaker, which are contained in the report, were undertaken in consultation with the relevant ministries.
The committee would like to emphasize the need for transparency in budget implementation to ensure that the funds are utilized efficiently. The committee, Madam Speaker, also appreciates the increase in the constituency development fund to 6.2 billion kwacha, which is translating to 40 million per constituency. However, the committee is concerned about persistent delays in the disbursement of funds and the low absorption capacity by local authorities. The committee, therefore, urges the Ministry of Local Government and Housing, Local Government and Rural Development, and Ministry of Finance and National Planning to enhance monitoring, strengthening local planning and project management capacity, and ensure timely release of funds for effective implementation of CDF programs. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, the committee acknowledges the government's efforts to stabilize the economy and promote inclusive development. However, the committee would like to urge the executive to enhance fiscal discipline, realigning resources towards productive sectors, and strengthen institutional frameworks for accountability. Finally, Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Expanded Planning and Budgeting Committee, I wish to extend my profound gratitude to you, Madam Speaker, the Clerk of the National Assembly, and all parliamentary committees that appeared and made submissions before the committee during the meeting to consider the 2026 national budget. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Any further debate? A reminder, honorable members, it's for 10 days. Let's not wait until the last day. We've started counting. Any further debate? I see none. Her Honor, the Vice President, adjournment.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House now adjourns.
The question is that the House now adjourns. Any debate? Any objection? The question is agreed to. The House is now adjourned.
As we continue to bring Parliament closer to you, the House has adjourned, meaning business commences again tomorrow at 14:30 hours. Time now to look at the business which has been considered on the floor of the House from the time business commenced at 14:30 hours.
Yes, indeed, Joe, when business commenced at about 14:30 hours, Madam Speaker did make some announcements. She did recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Marigold Trust School in Lusaka District. Madam Speaker also recognized in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from the following schools in Senga Hill Parliamentary Constituency: Menje Secondary School, Kalili Secondary School, Senga Hill Secondary School, Pande Day Secondary School, Nondo Day Secondary School, Kalila Primary School, Senga Hill Primary School, and Chimula Primary School. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcome the visitors to the National Assembly. And thereafter, Madam Speaker did make two rulings. In the first ruling, Madam Speaker, this was on a ruling on the complaint by Mr. Oliver Amtike, Member of Parliament for Mongu Central Constituency, against Mr. Binwe Umpundu, Member of Parliament for Nkana Constituency, and Mr. Francis Arakapyanga, Member of Parliament for Mpika Constituency, for allegedly using informal language in the House and unparliamentary language towards him. And in rendering her ruling, Madam Speaker did give the background scenario to both cases, and Madam Speaker did make reference to relevant authorities, and In addressing Mr. Kapyanga in her ruling, Madam Speaker did ask Mr. Kapyanga to read his apology to the House. And for Mr. Binwa Umpundu, who was in absentia, Madam Speaker did rule in the first ruling that Mr. Binwa Umpundu has been suspended from the House for 14 days.
And after that ruling, Madam Speaker also rendered a ruling on the complaint by Engineer Ara Mawenga, Member of Parliament for Mlove's constituency, against Mr. B. Mpundu, Member of Parliament for Nkana constituency, for statements attributed to Mr. B. Mpundu MP in an article entitled Binwa Slums Current Parliament as Useless, published in the Mass newspaper, produced in edition number 4655, SM45, dated Saturday, 5th July 2025. And Madam Speaker, in rendering her ruling, did cite relevant authorities and subsequently suspended Mr. Binwa Mpundu for the period of 30 days, and the suspension will run concurrently.
Thereafter, the Minister of Agriculture, that's Honorable Ruben P. Mutolo, rendered a ministerial statement on payments to farmers that supplied maize to the Food Reserve Agency during the 2025 marketing season. And the Minister, in his statement, did state that the Food Reserve Agency commenced the 2025 crop marketing season on 30th June 2025. He did state that the program has since recorded an overwhelming response from small-scale farmers across the country.
The Minister stated that the current marketing season, the FRA had projected to purchase 543,000 metric tons of maize at 6,800 per metric tons, or 340 per 50 kg bag, adding that the total cost for the purchase of the 543,000 metric tons was estimated at about more than 3 billion kwacha.
He went on to state that due to the bumper harvest experienced in the 2024-2025 season and the limited participation of the private sector in maize marketing, government decided to increase its share of maize purchases. And he did state that as of 31st October 2025, FRA had purchased over 1 million metric tons of white maize valued at about 11 billion kwacha. He said the maize was supplied by a total of 655 farmers from across the country.
The Minister further added that government attaches great importance to the timely payment of the hardworking farmers, and government was doing its level best to ensure that the debt owed to farmers is paid within the reasonable time.
Honorable Mtolo further went on to brief the House that government has so far dispersed over 2 billion towards 2 billion kwacha towards farmer payments, and that the remaining balance is being addressed through structured financial interventions to ensure that all farmers are paid as quickly as possible.
The Honorable Minister said that to accelerate the payments, government through the FRA has successfully concluded engagements with commercial banks for a structured loan facility amounting to 5 billion kwacha. He added that this facility will bridge the financing gap and enable the FRA to clear much of the remaining dues to farmers.
And in concluding his ministerial statement, he did state that government remains committed to ensuring that all maize purchased by the Food Reserve Agency is properly stored, particularly by the rains which have actually commenced. So those are just some of the details that were contained in the ministerial statement that was rendered by the Minister of Agriculture.
Yes, indeed. After consideration of that ministerial statement, we did see the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning present government bills, and we must make mention that 6 bills have been referred to the Planning and Budgeting Committee, and a report to be considered on 25th November 2025.
Yes, indeed, Joe, and the other 2 bills have been referred to the Committee on National Economy, Trade and Labor Matters. And we just ran through the bills that were presented and considered at first reading stage.
Yeah, the first one was the Income Tax Amendment Bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 19 of 2025, and this bill seeks to amend the Income Tax Act.
Yes, indeed, Joe. And the second bill was the Customs and Excise Amendment Bill, National Assembly number 2, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2025, a bill seeking to amend the Customs and Excise Act.
The Value Added Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2025, the bill seeks to amend the Value Added Tax.
And we also had the Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, is a bill seeking to amend the Property Transfer Tax Act.
And as well as the Mobile Money Transaction Levy Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2025, the bill seeks to amend the Mobile Money Transaction Levy Act.
And the sixth one was the Betting Levy, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2025, a bill to provide for the imposition, payment and collection of a betting levy and provide for matters connected with or incidental of the foregoing. So these are the 6 bills that were presented and considered at first reading stage, and these have been referred to the Planning and Budgeting Committee, and the committee is expected to bring a report to the House by Tuesday, 25th November 2025. And Joe, the other 2 bills that have been referred to the National Economy, Trade and Labor Matters, this is the Zambia Revenue Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2025, a bill seeking to amend the Zambia Revenue Authority Act.
And that the other one is the Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025. The bill seeks to amend the Registration of Business Names Act.
Indeed, so those were the government bills that were considered today. And moving on, the House went on to consider questions for oral answer, understanding Order 80. The House did consider question 46 and 47. Question 48 lapsed, the member being absent. We get into the details, Joe.
Yes, indeed. So the first question did come from Mr. Simon Banda, who is Petauke Central Member of Parliament. He wanted to find out from the Minister of Labour and Social Security in 3 parts whether the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, has any plans to rehabilitate the NAPSA building in Petauke District. And in response, the Minister said that, yes, indeed, government has those plans, and the plans will be implemented in 2026.
And question 47 was asked by Ms. Chrysosta Halwindi, Kabwe Central Member of Parliament. Her question was directed to the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. She wanted to know, in A, whether the government has any plans to replace the extensively corroded sewer pipes leading to the discharge ponds in Shamavanse Township in Kabwe District. The Minister did respond that government has plans. If so, when the plans will be implemented, the Minister did respond that by December 2025, the plans will be implemented. And in see if there are no such plans, this question did fall off.
Yes, indeed. After consideration of those questions, we did see Honorable Finance and the National Planning Minister, Dr. Stombeko Msokotwani, move a motion that the House do now resolve into Committee of Supply on the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026, presented to the National Assembly in September 2025.
Indeed, and so basically, Joe, that's about the business that has been considered today. So from me, Tazapiri, and on behalf of Joe Akataba, and on behalf of the entire production crew, we wish you a pleasant evening, and we urge you to continue watching Parliament Television, the only station that brings Parliament closer to you.
Good evening.